Hey everyone, Mecha-san here, and with E3 come and gone, I figured it's time I give you my thoughts on all the press conferences that happened. Now bear in mind that I'll be talking about the subjects, games, and other stuff that caught my interest. So things like, say, racing games or sports games, no thank you, not interested. I hate sports and I don't like racing games. Just, yeah. So with that said, let's proceed on with the first one. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a big fan of mechs. So, way back when EA announced Titanfall, I was so hyped. For a long time, the mech genre for me has always been limited to Japan, and the games they released there, like Mobile Suit Gundam, Journey to Jaburo, Encounters in Space, etc., etc. So when I finally heard the news of an American-made mech game, where you can not only pilot the mech, but also be a pilot that goes outside and just shoot people, I was hyped. And then, of course, we learned that it was all multiplayer. Really? That's it? And then, of course, the news about Titanfall 2 came out, and we all heard the news that it was going to be single-player campaign. So, E3 came in, they started out with Titanfall 2. They showed a lot of multiplayer footage here and there. I thought, well, some of the new Titans, I'm a little worried here. They're not showing any of the old Titans. I really hope they don't put those things to the wayside. I want to see those guys again. And of course, they show a bit more mechanics, traversal mechanics, and the Batman-style grapnel hook. You know, it's getting to this point where every game, everything, must have a grapnel. Titanfall 2, Just Cause, Gravity Falls, everything must have a grapnel at this point. But what I'm seeing here, nice and old, okay, it's cool, it's multiplayer, but what about what we want to see? What do we want to see?
I'm excited to confirm single player.
Thank you. That's what we wanted, a single player story trailer. And it's interesting nonetheless. Not being as well versed on Titanfall lore as I should be, it's interesting to note that a pilot is literally connected to their Titan. So for a rifleman on a standard grunt unit to become a pilot just on the spot in the middle of a battlefield was interesting fact to know.
BT-7274. Your data recorder says your original pilot was killed in action.
Correct. My original pilot was KIA. I am now linked to Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Who authorized this?
We had no other options.
Also, the way the Titan acted and stuff, if I didn't know any better, I'd say it has a spark.
Trust me.
That'd be so weird. I mean, I know the Titans all have AIs that can operate in an autonomous state, but I don't know, it felt a little too emotional there. Not like I was getting the feel or anything, but it looked like it had emotion. I can't tell if that's very clever programming or not, but if you had Peter Cullen doing the voice of the Titan, I instantly think, yeah, that thing's alive. That thing is very much alive. Now, skipping ahead, we get the one I really wanted to know more. Mass Effect Andromeda. Oh, I have been a huge Mass Effect fan. I played all the 3 games. Actually, I only played one of the mobile games. I missed my chance to download Mass Effect Galaxy, the one with Jacob. The one with Jacob as the main character, stopping the assassination attempt on the council. I hate that. Why did they take it down from the Apple Store? I read all the books, and I have read all the comics. I love Mass Effect. Now, I was a little worried when they started out because they said,
Here's a look behind the scenes at Mass Effect Andromeda.
Behind the scenes. That's kind of like what they did last year. But my fears were completely absolved as we saw, some behind-the-scenes footage, but we also saw some cinematics, some gameplay stuff. It was very spectacular to see. Although this still begs the question, why are they going to Andromeda? Why Andromeda? Okay, if you're a fan of the Mass Effect lore, then you pretty much read over and over again the codex, especially the one with the audio logs, and you pretty much memorized a lot of what they said. As such, for those of you who don't know, standard FTL speed is 15 light years a day. That's standard, commercial, as far as I know. I think military vessels can go a little farther, but for the most part, it's 15 light years. And the more time you travel there, the more static buildup the ship gets, until eventually, without dumping it somewhere, it builds up to the point where it completely leaks out onto the ship and fries every electronic and anyone on board. So my question is, how the hell can they get to Andromeda? I mean, there's a galaxy next door. And in fact, why Andromeda at all when you have a bunch of other smaller dwarf satellite galaxies orbiting the Milky Way? It's a question that's been bugging me ever since I've heard that they're going to another galaxy. Of course, I don't think they're the only ship, because we've seen that one quick picture here. Other ships in the background of the big one we see. So they could be heading off to the other galaxies as well, orbiting the Milky Way. But how are they going to get to the Andromeda galaxy without having all their electronic and the crew being fried with the electrical buildup? It just, for that matter, running out of fuel. The amount of fuel needed would be, it would take them centuries to reach Andromeda. Millennia even, I don't know. So it's one of the big questions that I have running in my mind that I really hope the game answers the question to. Maybe they reverse engineered some Reaper tech. We have heard this takes place centuries, millennia even, after the events of the trilogy. I hope it's just centuries, because I'm really hoping for at least some cameos in some way or fashion about Liara, Grunt, and even Rex. Something like, even if it's just their name, like a book written by Liara to Sony. That's good enough for me. Or maybe interview tapes of Liara to Sony and everyone else. I want to hear their voices again. I don't have to look at their faces, but as long as I hear the words, oh gosh, Liara to Sony, like, I want to hear them talk about Commander Shepard and what he had to do. Another thing I've heard is that no matter the ending you pick in the third game, won't matter. Really? Really? The big question I have in my mind is, how is the galaxy going to change after I pick the ending? Because I picked green ending. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me in the comments, but please say that. Yeah, I picked green ending. I picked the techno-organic ending because, hey, I'm a Transformers fan, and that ending reminded me of Beast Machine's Transformers when they went all techno-organic, so I'm okay with it. But I really want to know, like, the repercussions of that ending. How different are now organic and synthetic? Can organics now, like, synchronize or link up with technology now? I want to know. I want to know the consequences. That's disappointing. Well, I'm hoping they get to the questions in the game. Moving on. And EA announces they're working on more Star Wars games. No images whatsoever, nothing at all. We see some behind the scenes stuff of two guys in mocap suit having a lightsaber duel, Star Wars heroes. Okay, the one I'm really hoping for is that in Battlefront, they say they're listening to the fans. Give me a single player campaign in Star Wars Battlefront! That's what I wanted. That's what everyone wants. We want a single-player campaign. Give me an original story. Expand the Star Wars universe. We're getting Rogue One, which is a story about how the rebellion obtained the plans for the Death Star. What we want is single-player story campaign missions. When people buy games, a lot of the times they buy the game for the single-player campaign, but they stay for the multiplayer. That's kind of what it is this day. I know it's not for everyone. A lot of games are strictly multiplayer. People buy them because of that. But me, I buy games for single-player story campaigns, and I will go back to playing a single-player story campaign. I don't really play multiplayer, but that's just me, and I'm sure there's some people as well who share my opinion. But I want it. I want to know more about the Star Wars universe, especially now that Disney bought Star Wars and made it so that the expanded universe stuff that Lucas made doesn't count at all, throw out the window. I want to know more. I want to know more about this brand new, essentially restart to the extended lore. And now we move to honorable mentions. The first one I see here that really got my interest is V. I really don't know what to say about this game yet. I mean, it's certainly beautiful looking, a nice little spectacle, and I like the design, the very obvious polygons in the dark, in the black and purple and violet. It kind of speaks to me in a way, and I love the concept where it's about sound and everything, so it's a game I'm interested in. Okay, and now we're moving on to the final entry, and this is another honorable mention. Battlefield 1. Now, keep in mind, people, I do not plan on playing Battlefield at all. I don't play those Battlefield games. I have a thing about when it's human on human in war. It's like, really, we have enough of that in real life. Do we need any more? I have never even played a Battlefield or a Call of Duty or any of that. So I don't plan on buying Battlefield anytime in the future. Though I gotta admit, this is one pretty-ass trailer. I mean, the amount of graphical detail, the expression of the face, the noises, just the effects of, especially of that blimp, Zeppelin, collapsing down and hitting that farming town. It's like, damn. This is what I want to see in a lot of sci-fi based games. Such level to detail. In fact, this game is so pretty that I'm sorry. Just that I showed this trailer to a friend of mine. He's a big fat warm nut. He loves this kind of game. He's been playing Rainbow Six for ever. Rainbow Six Siege since it came out non-stop, since we got PlayStation 4. And when he saw this trailer, he's like, "Oh God, I hope they tune the graphics down because this is so good, it's hurting my eyes." His words, not mine. That's what he said. It's so pretty that he could not stand it. His eyes were bleeding. Oh, dramatic much, but you get what I'm saying here. It's a very pretty trailer. If I had one problem with the trailer is the music. What the hell? Okay, this game is set in World War I, so couldn't you play some music of the time, some contemporary music? Or if there was none that really fit the tone of the trailer, why couldn't you make an original score based around the music of that time period? It would have fit perfectly. It's the same thought I had with the Kanye West song in Assassin's Creed, the movie trailer. It just didn't match. What? They dropped the ball in that regard. But still, it's a very damn pretty trailer. I will not be playing this game, but I will love to see some Let's Plays about this game. Will the same graphics carry over to the gameplay? Because, well, cinematic trailers and actual gameplay footage, gameplay cinematics, tend to differ. But here's hoping. EA had a good start. It was a nice way to begin the E3 press conferences. I would give it, if I was grading this, a B. Not a lot of content here. I wanted a bit more about Mass Effect Andromeda. There was pretty much nothing on the Star Trek front. It was just behind the scenes stuff that telling us they're working on this and everything, but not enough. Titanfall 2, that was a star attraction for me. And a lot of people will definitely lean towards Battlefield 1. I can see that. Fee looked interesting. I can only hope that the next one here will be just better, which, again, people join me again for that video, people. It's Ubisoft coming up next. So tell me what you like about this video. Subscribe and like. And as always, this is Mecha-san, logging out.